Yet again, there's been another gun violence attack in the United States of America. And yet again, the Republicans have made this political. Yet again, they've turned the conversation rather than trying to address what that person and the reason why the person did it, they've turned it into left versus right. Republicans against Democrats yet again. As long as this is the rhetoric these people take up after every violent attack, there will never be a solution to this problem. The problem will always continue. As long as there's been an attack, rather than trying to find the problem and what's caused someone to do it, these people just make it political every single time. As long as that's the rhetoric that these people hold, there will never be a solution to this. It will just get worse and worse and worse. And we're about to see that in play yet again. But before we jump into that, if you're new to this channel, it will be massively appreciated if you drop a like on the video and also subscribe. Let's get right into this.
Another day, another act of political violence in America, and another round of the blame game. A sniper opening fire at an ICE facility in Texas, killing one detainee and hurting two others. The suspect died after turning the gun on himself. Now, not long after, the FBI director published images of shell casings with the words anti-ICE written in blue. Also, not long after the shooting, the political lines were drawn.
You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
So, look, this is extremely disturbing that there's another one of these types of shootings. I think we've got to deal with this as a country, first of all. But I also, just for starters, I'm curious, how does it help to have the vice president say that?
Because the third one in Texas. I mean, if you know people that work in law enforcement, my family does. I know ICE agents in Texas. This is the third attack we've seen in Texas, in the same district as the man in charge today was saying. Like, this is the second time he's had to have a press conference today.
Who was killed today? Who was killed today?
So you're saying since it
That's
wasn't...
not what I'm at. No.
So you're saying since it wasn't, it was innocent people that were killed today.
Don't put words in my mouth.
No, you asked a question.
Yeah,
I'm answering your question.
You're
saying since it wasn't ICE agents that were killed, therefore this is a null and void conversation?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Are you kidding me?
That's gaslighting. I'm asking you a simple question because when J.D. Vance went up there, and when you're coming up here... This is not a
good argument from you.
First of all,
innocent people got shot today, and you're like, well, it wasn't ICE agents that got shot.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the division that you all are sowing in this country...
I'm not sowing anything. I'm saying protect all law enforcement.
Because of the simple fact, yes, protect
Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Did you see what he said? He said, ICE agents are authoritarian. You don't think that can inspire someone to do that?
ICE agents should be able to come home every single night. And so don't put words in my mouth. I am acting like it, first. And second, the fact that you and J.D. Vance and every other Republican can go on here and talk about...
We're not shooting people. We're not shooting people. The left is shooting people and they're being inspired by that.
You see that? The left is shooting people. Why is this? Why is every conversation always about, oh, it's the left or the right? Why? By the way, it's always Republicans that make that conversation. The first time Charlie Kirk got shot, the first thing that came out of the president's mouth, the first thing that came out of Elon Musk, all the big Republican supporters, the first thing that comes out of them is, oh my God, the left is the party of violence. Why is that the first conversation? Why, without even knowing who this person was? Why is that the conversation? Why? Why can't the conversation be what actually is the problem here? Why are people turning into political violence? Why are they turning to political violence for them to get the message out? Why is that the case? At the end of the day, the certain president right now is the most divisive president in the history of the United States. There is no doubt. He is massively fueling and playing a huge part at the division between both sides right now. The vice president himself just came out yet again, made it political. Every single conversation. On the left, the Democratic Party has no leaders that's making it. It's not even close. None of them are making this political in any way, shape, or form. You come out, you condemn it, and you look for the problems. But on the other side, what do you get? The left is the party of evil. The left want to eradicate us. The president himself got asked, what do you have to say to people that are willing to take revenge for the death of Charlie Kirk? And he came out and he said, well, we try to win during elections, but, the election is rigged against us. Why is that the conversation? Why can't you come out, condemn the violence, and tell everyone to chill out? Why? Why do you have to make it left v right every single time? That's the rhetoric that's literally making it worse.
That is the low. That is
I'm
the
sorry.
biggest.
I have a friend that got shot and assassinated 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
I'm a little bit hot on this one because you guys have been irresponsible with the rhetoric that is coming out from people on the left. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Hold on. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night and disparaged ICE agents, attacked ICE agents, said they're authoritarian.
But before you even get to the
what is the evidence?
one second.
Watch what he said last night on late night television.
I'm not talking about that, Ben, because you come on here and you gaslight and you.
I'm not gaslighting. I don't want innocent people to die.
Let me finish my sentence, please. You come on here and you gaslight and you put words in my mouth. And that's not what I said.
You interrupted me and said you got
can you just let him
finish?
Ben, in the interest, hold on, Ben, in the interest of finishing this conversation.
And what I want you to do is not only lift up those ICE agents. What I'm trying to get you to do is also lift up those people who were killed. Because when you do not lift up those people who were killed, as well as those law enforcement officers, you sow division in this country. Okay. And that's what I'm saying.
Let me say this. Here's where I agree.
Absolutely. He's absolutely right. Absolutely. He doesn't even talk about the people that actually got injured. He just turns into, oh my God, these people, this party, people of the left, they are trying to like destroy the whole country. They keep fueling the violence. That's the problem. You don't even talk about the victims. You don't even get to that part. Why doesn't he get to that part? Because he is so factuated on the point that the left is trying to destroy the country. That's the reason he doesn't even care. They don't even care. They don't care at all. These people, they really do not care.
Abby, let me say this.
Look at the bullets that are on the ground. Ben,
here's where I agree. Here's where I agree with Ben.
Hit a pause on that and let other people.
Here's where I agree with Ben. All right, when the goal clearly was to hurt ICE agents, it matters.
Said it.
And I think that applies not just to ICE, but to law enforcement across the country. We should be angrier when law enforcement are targeted in this country.
Thank you.
Period. Now, that is a separate issue from linking rhetoric to saying that's why this is happening. They're doing this.
It was written on the bullet stand.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean
you don't have to connect dots here.
Of course
he wrote
you do.
it down so he didn't have to connect dots.
I know his motives. I'm not questioning his motives.
So then the motive was anti-ICE rhetoric.
Well, did it say rhetoric on the? Because I thought
it said anti-ICE, and when you have people out there literally 8 hours earlier,
right? So, but here's what
attacking ICE agents.
I'm not going to hold you.
You don't need to be on the left to be anti-ICE, okay? You don't. Really, you don't, okay? If you are someone that votes Republican and ICE agents come into your home and they take out all your family and deport them, it doesn't take much for you to be anti-ICE. That kind of move can make you anti-ICE. You don't need to be on the left. You don't need to be democratic, to be part of the Democratic Party for you to be anti-ICE. You don't. This idea, they're so fixated on trying to merge it with the left so badly that they don't even care about how to solve the problem. And it's talking about rhetoric. Excuse me. How can you possibly say the rhetoric is being driven on the left? How? You are so delusional. Genuinely. Your president alone is literally culpable for like 80% of the bad rhetoric right now.
People accountable for everything someone else says and say, oh, well, this guy must have done it because this guy said it over there. Again, there's way too much attacks on law enforcement in this country.
Coming from who, though, Dan?
Coming from a whole range
Show
of
me
people.
a Republican elected official that has attacked ICE or law enforcement for doing their job.
How about the Capitol Police?
I said, give me a...
You said a Republican who's...
I said of ICE agents right now. You're going back...
You said or law enforcement. No, you said or law enforcement.
ICE agents.
Yeah, no, ICE agents...
All right, hold on. Let me let Kristen...
Why does it have to be ICE agents? What a stupid thing to say, number one. And number two, this person that just did this shooting wasn't even part of any official Democrat. Like, he wasn't even part of any official position in any way, shape, or form. Why would you even make such an example? That's so stupid.
Have a word. Go
I'm
ahead,
just going to
Kristen.
say the fact that we still have not yet taken a second and said, let's think of those agents. Let's think of the people. We have gone straight to our party jerseys.
Well, to Bakari's point, the people who were killed today.
That's my only point. I said, think of the people, all of them.
I agree with you, but you go right to. We don't know the motive. We don't know this. Look,
I didn't say
that. He actually didn't say that. I mean, I do think.
All right,
he's making a point that the people.
on this one.
Well, hold on. No, hold on. Okay. The people who were killed today were detainees. I actually think it's a valid question. Who were they?
Well, I think
what were
it's
their
important.
names? What were they accused of?
No,
Why were they there?
Gets killed. If the motive of the shooter was to kill
I think
ICE
that's the point
agents,
Bakari was
he
trying to make.
missed.
But
Before
go
we
ahead.
start going into motives, there are two sides. It's not Republican and Democrat. It's good and evil. And for some reason, we get lost into this fight where we blur the lines and say, well, we can all agree here that people who want to go shoot someone for whatever reason is wrong without saying, oh, Republicans, you don't know the motive. We can admit the motive. If they're deranged and they want to kill someone, there's nothing
Hold on,
wrong with
Ben,
it.
hold on. I think you're right. And obviously, I mean, I think that's not, though, what a lot of people are doing.
Thank you. What she just said right now is true. You shouldn't make it left v right. You should just talk about person being deranged to want to take up actions like that. But which side is making it about left v right? Which side is? It's only one side. The Democrats never ever come out and say the right, after an event like this, oh my God, the right is the part of evil. Oh my God, the right is always the one causing violence. They never say that. They just condemn the violence and make sure we actually talk about how to fix the problem. But every single time when Charlie Kirk got shot, I will repeat again, 1 hour after, the president came out saying the lunatic radical leftists are trying to destroy this country without knowing who did it. That rhetoric is only coming from one side. It's not coming from both sides.
They're saying this is the left against the right when it's really deranged people against all of us. And I think that is, hold on, Ben.
Oh my God.
It's deranged people against all of us who are not deranged and don't go out killing people. I just don't understand what is the value in saying they did this, they did that, when it's he did it.
It happens on your show every night.
What?
Every single night, it's they did this. Republicans doing that. Trump rhetoric, this and that. It can never just show up every single night.
Hold on. Trump doing something is very different to a random person taking up a gun, okay? If Trump was to do something, it probably requires some backing in his Republican circle to do it. So that's very, very different. If Trump does something, it is them. That's different. A random civilian doing something, that's totally different. Don't even go there.
In a concrete way, what are you talking about?
Every single night it is here, and it's not just Republicans saying they did this. It's Democrats forgetting even what happened, trying to gaslight over it and
so
say...
who is Peyton Gendron?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
But hold
on a second, Bakari. When on the show have we blamed Republicans as a corporate group for
I am
what?
not. I didn't say blame
Murders?
anyone. What I'm saying here is that there were tragedies that happened, and even right now, as we're talking about this one, and to talk about the detainees that died, I want to pray for them too. But immediately we went to, we can't talk about the rhetoric, your rhetoric, that rhetoric. You go right into this.
We did not. It started with the clip of J.D. Vance, but who was Peyton Gendron?
Yeah,
who was Peyton Gendron? Who was Peyton Gendron?
Before we go there,
he actually murdered.
Clip we showed,
1 second.
The clip we showed was J.D. Vance, not what actually happened.
But he
what
was
does that have to do with it?
He was he committed mass murder of Buffalo grocery store patrons, just innocent people. Who was Dylan Roof? The things they had on their weapons, the things they had on their guns, and all I'm saying is yes.
So I'm sorry. What are you trying to say? You're trying to say that we don't condemn that as well. That I'm not condemning that as well.
What I'm saying is yes. I will give you credit for that condemnation, but we also condemn that stuff on our side. It's not as if it's this side.
We started a segment tonight with a clip of the vice president.
Go ahead,
For what?
Adam.
For what he said last night about ICE agents. 8 hours before the attack on ICE agents. Is anyone here going to condemn Gavin Newsom?
Go ahead, Adam.
Yes, I can. I don't like Gavin Newsom, so I condemn him.
You know, every time one of these tragic every time one of these tragic shootings happens, everybody's at each other's throats about which side did it, but we're missing a broader pattern in America. This was another young white dude who's in his 20s. We have seen this pattern accelerating over the past decade. The same day Charlie Kirk was shot, the same exact time, there was a neo-Nazi who shot up a school in Colorado. We can look at the acceleration of the radicalization of young men through a few frameworks. There's the COVID pandemic, which had people isolated, had a bubble around themselves, and a lot of young men failed to pull that bubble down and got sucked down these algorithms. I've seen it happen to my close friends. They get sucked down these algorithms. We have foreign actors trying to sow chaos in America, sow division. How much does Putin salivate when he sees us at each other's throats? Then we have domestic actors, people like Elon Musk, riling it up. So all of these factors, wait, hold up, Ben. All of these factors come together to create this pattern that we see of young men in my age range committing these shootings. And if you want to sit here and go back and forth, tit for tat, I can say Dylan Roof, Robert Bowers, John Earnest, none of these were black people. None of these were trans people. None of these were even Democrats. These were neo-Nazis who had things carved into their guns. You can sit here and muddy the waters, but you are just lying.
I just don't want innocent people to die. Sue me for that.
Oh, that's such a lie. Stop trying to take up this virtuous ground. No, stop saying you just don't want. If that's the case, you tell your president to condemn the shooting. You tell your president to tell everyone to calm down. Okay, that's what you do. Rather than your president coming out telling everyone the radical leftists are trying to ruin the United States. That's what you do. Don't sit there talk about, oh, I just don't want people to die. No, you don't care. You absolutely, these people don't care.
Then maybe tell Trump to tone down his rhetoric.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Exactly. Thank you.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about.
You literally
but the political
entire argument. So Abby, let me go back to the
Can I make something that might be a little bit more controversial than that?
Hold on a second.
Sure, go ahead.
This is the part that should not be this hard.
He says he hates his enemies.
Hold on, Adam.
Who says he hates his enemies?
This is the part that should not be this hard for people to understand. After the assassination of my friend Charlie Kirk, I would hope, and after multiple attacks on ICE facilities, I would hope that leaders of the Democratic Party, and one of those leaders is Gavin Newsom, would know better than to go on TV and to say that ICE agents are the bad guys and that they're authoritarian, and then expect that no one's going to listen to what he's saying or respond to it. There should be more accountability for that.
Let me just ask you a question about that, okay? Because I think at the heart of so much of this is your insistence that using certain words leads to violence. Is that what you're saying?
Calling people fascists and Nazis and authoritarian,
So when Rand Paul posted this today,
this is the whataboutism.
No, I'm just.
Yeah, of course. It's to show you it happens on your side.
Hold on. Rand Paul said, YouTube admitted the authoritarian Biden regime ordered them to censor Americans. He used the word authoritarian.
Yes, is it true or false?
Okay, and then let me
hold on,
yes. And then let me play. This is Donald Trump. Just Donald Trump. Listen.
It's a choice between communism and freedom. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. This is a radical left Marxist, communist, fascist. She's a Marxist, she's a fascist.
We have short memories around here.
Who's running for
I guess
mayor in
what
New York City?
I'm saying, Ben, what I'm asking you, Ben. Last thing.
This guy is so fucking embarrassing. Honestly, that is the president of the United States. This isn't just some random person trying to be president, trying to be Senate. No. That's the president of the United States. The most powerful person in the country. That's what he's saying.
Okay,
guys.
Guys,
a socialist?
Guys, hold on.
He's not off.
No.
You guys are running in here.
He was calling Biden a communist.
Ben, he was talking about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Hold on a second. Okay, exactly. I have a question for you. Are you so committed to this idea that we should just ban certain words from the lexicon? Authoritarian, fascist, Nazi, communist. Should we just ban them because they're all leading to violence? Or is it just that it's not okay when your political opponents use them?
I think you're incredibly smart. And I think that you're smart enough to realize.
Really condescending.
No, I think you're smart to realize that when you demonize law enforcement to the point where what is happening is becoming regular against ICE agents because it's coming from people like Gavin Newsom, we should know that there is a correlation there.
Hold on. I take your point about.
It was 8 hours.
Hold on. No.
Earlier.
Hold on a second. Listen. To a degree, I take your point about demonization, I think generally. But I'm asking you about your insistence that certain words that are being used by your political opponents should be off limits. And if that is your contention, then I think lay that on the table and let's make that clear and let's apply it to everybody.
We missed a good point. We missed a good point that he made. Everybody at the table did, and I think that we need to pay more attention to it. And I'm glad you brought it up and not me. What there is a common theme about is young white men in this country between the ages of 20 and 30 committing a series of mass shootings. And until we actually have a conversation about that, do you know who else struck that chord? You know who else said the same thing on Fox News? Trey Gowdy, who said the same thing. We have to begin to have a conversation about families, video games.
I love
the problem is people like Ben Ferguson.
You and I can agree on that.
We have to include the media and social media. The fact that tonight the first thing we started talking about was J.D. Vance instead of what actually happened. is irresponsible, and we have to start holding that
We can't
accountable.
use J.D. Vance's own words.
Why is that right where you go?
It's the vice president.
That's
What words are more
immediately-
important?
That's the vice president, you dipshit. You fucking idiot. That's the vice president, okay? He speaks for a large majority of the people in the country. That's why. What do you mean why did you start with J.D. Vance? Why? Why not? Why not start with someone like him? Someone that represents a huge majority of the voice in your country. What is he talking about? She's so stupid.
Immediately tearing
serious.
people apart.
If we're going to talk about
J.D.
this, why
Vance's
not look
words
at
are tearing people apart?
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
what you're
You
saying?
going right there instead
Me
of
playing
saying
what the vice president said is divisive.
you wanna
I'm
know
not
whose
saying you don't
words?
get
What
there.
he said.
The words that
is
matter most to me were the
First
vice
thing
around the
you
bullets.
didn't do Gavin Newsom's comments against
And
ISIS.
we didn't play those
He's the
tonight.
vice
Why did
Ben,
why did
8
you start
hours
with that?
before.
How do you-
That
All
was
right.
more relevant.
Okay, listen. I don't even know what to say. He's the vice president of the United
And he's
States.
the
We're
governor.
gonna play.
The-
We're gonna
the-
play his
The
comments.
difference is in
All
one
right.
case, there's no demonstration of cause and effect between what Gavin Newsom said and what happened. And in the other case, we know he's talking about the event that we're talking about today
Then
in the
include
news.
both. Then include
No,
both.
but one is actually
One is
about
actually
it, and the other
related.
is speculative about
You're
maybe
talking
it
about
could
right,
be.
exactly. Okay.
It's speculating.
Of
All
course
right.
it is. About the connection.
ICE
There needs
agents
to
get
be some
shot at,
media
and Gavin
accountability.
Newsom's shouting about
Okay.
ICE
All right,
agents.
so if Trump says something and then the next day someone does something really stupid, you're going to tell me they're connected,
the
right?
Democratic Party has demonized ICE
Now
as a
it's the
group.
Democratic. Look, I'm
And
with
it is
Ben.
a-
Oh, so it's not Gavin Newsom anymore. It's the Democratic. Okay, as a whole. Okay, then. So he moved away from him to the whole party now. Okay, that's a prime example of the way they shift the whole goal. That's it right there. So it's not the person anymore. Earlier it was him saying it, but now it's not him saying it anymore. It's the whole party. All right. Okay, no problem.
Mantra.
I happen to
Listen to
agree with
Have
you.
you ever said
I agree with you.
Listen to
All right, guys,
Donald
we're going to
Trump-
leave it here for this conversation because we really do have to go. We have a lot more to get to in the show.
This is why there will never be any solution to this, okay? I don't care what anyone says. The rhetoric on the right needs to be toned down. It has to be. The rhetoric from the president himself needs to be toned down. He needs to tell everyone from his side to calm the fuck down. And on the other side, that's normal. That already happens. The Democrats always condemn any violence. But it's just on the right. Anytime there's any violence, these people just make it political every single time. But we'll just leave it there. Till next time. If you're new around here, it will be massively appreciated if you drop a like on the video and also subscribe.